One of the things that's hardest to convey is what happens for my clients. And so instead of me talking for them, I figured I'm going to let them talk for themselves. Here you go.
Someone's brand, it's the most important element in the entire business mix, if you ask me, because it tells you who you are and who you have to be and how you have to behave. It communicates the same to your audience, and it gives you, even though it's a word or a graphic, it embodies everything that's true about what it is that you're doing.
I met David online probably 3 years ago, and I just liked his New York approach. I'm from New York, he's originally from New York, and he just had a direct, no-nonsense approach.
And I remember the first time I presented my newly branded company name and card. It was actually to Harley Davidson after I interviewed to run their annual motorcycle festival. And the chairman picked it up, looked at it, smiled immediately and said, "Great name." And you damn well know that I got that gig.
Sure, David is beyond brilliant when it comes to rebranding. He has helped build empires, he knows how to give life to brands, and yet what surprised me the most is that David will come up with new ideas daily, faster than anybody I've ever interacted with.
I remember talking to him, one of the first conversations we spoke about was, before I even hired him, he says, and I was all over the place, wanted to write a book, wanted to get on, be internet influencer and all. He said, "Steve, you got to slow down, and it has to be done in a chronological order, and you have to build your story. Wanting to write a book before you have your brand in order is like putting flowers around an outhouse and calling it the Waldorf Astoria in New York City." And I'll never forget that, stuck in my brain this whole time.
In 10 short months, we have doubled our business. And our business has grown phenomenally. We've had explosive growth over the past 4 months, in spite of other businesses having a really, really tough time.
The real reason I like his branding over anybody else is that he has a genuine disdain for conservatism, meaning any marketing, logo, branding that's corporate, understated, subtle, blends in, or has always been that way in our industry. These things actually make him angry and genuinely spout off 4-letter curse words.
Honestly, the rebranding, it turned us into a movement. David did something vitally important to me, to my brand, to my company, that has put us on this trajectory to expansion that I really always wanted, but I saw it being such a barrier.
It's been amazing working with David because he has this insight. He understands business like no one that I've ever worked with before, and I've been in business for many, many years.
But David, he pulled it out of me in the fashion that David does. Very understandable, very exact. It was like butter. And at that point in time, I knew who I was. I knew who my company was. I knew what our brand was. I knew what our purpose was. I knew what we were supposed to be doing. And listen, if you don't know who you are, you need to hire David.
My absolute top and rarest trait of all, David truly cares.
We did go write the book. We have a book called Straight Dirt, hardcovered, 4 glossy, beautiful pictures. Became an Amazon bestseller, all to David. I mean, if you guys are thinking about branding, don't waste your time on these other fly-by-night guys that I see on the internet promising this and that. David is the real deal. I mean, he's really helped my company a lot. And he's actually become a good friend over these last 3 years. So I don't do anything without running it by him first. He's the go-to guy. He will educate you. He will teach you the art of branding. I mean, the guy's a genius.
Well, I mean this sincerely. This isn't just gratuitous, interview chatter, but, couldn't have done it without you. But I'm sure you haven't given anybody as good of a slogan as ours. I'm sure of that.
I hope that that gives you a flavor of why I love working with my clients so much. And if I can do the same for you, let's talk.